My name is Harry Liu. I'm a freshman at Stony Brook University. I'm here with Dr. Rashev from the Department of Applied Mathematical and Statistics at Stony Brook University. Hello, Doctor. Thank you for having me today. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm good.
All right. So, shall we start?
Yes, please.
Very first question. What made you choose this field?
You mean the field of applied mathematics or the field of finance related to applied mathematics? I have two fields.
The field of finance.
And the field of finance. I was at UC Santa Barbara with having a discussion with my PhD students. And I asked them about what their plans for the job market is. Most of them told me that they would like to pursue a career in finance. I'm trained as a probabilist, and in probability theory we have an apparatus techniques that can be used in financial modeling. And I started to give them problems that are related to finance and investments. And meanwhile, in order for these problems to have any meaning, I start working with the local investment industry people. So I talk to hedge funds managers, pension fund managers, and start thinking about the kind of real problems they're interested in, and giving to the students. Very soon, from one major bank, I was approached and asked to perform a large risk management, risk assessment first of the bank portfolios. They were unhappy with the models they had. The model was really very, I should say, primitive. And we, with a couple of my students, started working on it. And that was the first large project that we did in finance. Ultimately, this led to a creation of a firm, the so-called Bravo Risk Management firm, which later became Finanalytica, and now it's the fourth largest risk management company. So that is how I started.
Thank you. So, what are your achievements since you started your career?
That was again related to this project, in fact. The original project that was, that this particular bank, I should not say the name, had, it was based on the idea that the market is kind of one and the same state for a very, very long time. So the so-called, what we say, Gaussian markets. Some of you might have read the story of Benoit Mandelbrot that the markets are extremely volatile. I didn't know Benoit at that time. Then, after a couple of calls, we got together. But I came to the similar idea that, in fact, the markets follow periods of high, low volatility, and they're non-Gaussian, so they're not typical ones. And that led to a considerable research, a lot of papers in this area. So if I have to summarize what my main achievements are. This is in non-Gaussian models in finance. This is models that can be used in highly volatile markets. Now that's what I'm known for.
So, what have you enjoyed the most about your career?
Oh, certainly, certainly the fact that students like my work, like to talk to me. They are excited when they see research projects related to finance. It was very difficult for me. My real area of expertise is advanced probability here. There's all of these geniuses here that are from my previous life in probability, the so-called mass transportation problems. For what my first 25 years of my research career was devoted. But I couldn't find really students interested in these difficult questions. As soon as I moved to finance, the students were much more open to do research with me. So that is a great feeling.
So, can you share with us about what will be the next step in your career?
Oh, I'm now in a position where I have to give more to other people. So I have, in a way, not that I have done completely my work, but research-wise, I have achieved the maximum that I really would see that it's my limit in a way. I have 40 books and probably over 400 papers. But I would like now my students to pick up the ideas and develop them and to reach more than I have done. And that's really what makes me good. The very fact that a student of mine is now making $5 million a year in a Wall Street makes me very happy, for example. Students that had, I have now 4 full professors that were my students, so that makes me proud. So the next generation, to see in a couple of years that some of my best students have achieved leading roles in science or in the financial industry, that is what I want to see.
Right. So, I am from Vietnam, which is a communism country in Southeast Asia. That makes me that I have to pay a lot of money for college here. So I have one question that, in terms of investing in financing, is college really worth it, or it is just a societal pressure and expectation? In terms of investing in finance.
Yes. So the answer is definitely yes. And I had encouraged all my students to go towards ultimately even to PhD. And not even. Say in my firm now, out of the 48 quants and software developers, half of them are PhD students, another have master in area from applied math to computer science. So the reason for that is that the world is so sophisticated, the world of finance, that standard textbooks, examples, or case studies are not sufficient. People who would like to make to have significant success in investment and finance should be very, very well trained. A lot of the mistakes that are done, and in the academia we also made a mistake, but a lot of the mistakes that has been done, say, during the crisis, during the Lehman demise, were made by wrong models. The usage of primitive, wrong, very simplified models. And for that reason even, the understanding of the entire financial system is something that requires significant effort, and the students should be prepared for that. I hired in my firm, I do not remember in the last 10, maybe 15 hiring that I have taken master's students. And we take only PhD students. And when I talk to my clients around the world, the same. Nobody will discuss how much you want to be paid. As soon as you are prepared for financial industry, you want to have between 250 and 300K salary? Sure. As soon as the person who is hiring knows that you're going to contribute to this financial institution significantly. And that can be made only by very well educated. The people are saying, and I have heard this from my students, I want to go immediately after the bachelor, I want to see the industry. What can you see from the industry with bachelor degree? Practically nothing. So you know nothing. The guys that are around you will learn from you, again, nothing. Any real examples that you're going to have will be different from what you have seen in your textbooks. You can be in the area of client relations, maybe, understand very roughly what the person or the institution needs from you, let's say portfolio insurance, but as soon as you have to work it out, you need considerable knowledge. So my advice, I have said to all of my students, go to the letter of the master and PhD students as high as possible.
So I heard that American students, they can get loans to go to college. So, and nowadays, the American youth are collecting more debt. So what should be the plan for them, especially the college student, to reduce the debt after they graduating from college?
All seeking a job during the academic studies, this is the answer. The answer is try to, with the help of your instructors, try to find paid internship or part-time jobs, or even in my case here, in the College of Business and in the Applied Math, we have in the quantitative finance students who are 100% working, and then taking, coming and taking exams and etc. So it is, saving is a good thing, of course, but even more important is earning money when you are here in the university. And there are many opportunities. And I'm not mentioning these low-paid jobs of working in a restaurant. No, there is quite a bit of projects that a person with a good knowledge, that you can have computational problems. You have to know MATLAB, C++, Mathematica. These are the language of the mathematical finance, and then do practical examples, and they're well paid. This is how you can reduce your debt.
Very last question. So, what are some tips and advice you have for American youth for making smart financial decisions?
The first thing, the general term, that is not my only, my suggestion or opinion about it. Everybody will tell the same thing. When you enter or plan to enter the area of finance investment, you have to be humble. That is that you have to understand that you know very little, and you have to learn a lot. And the second thing is, I always advise my students to do actual trading. But before that, they have to do very thorough testing, the model that they are going to use. There are backtesting techniques, there are even regulations how to do. So just trying, let me, read the newspaper and see what is happening, or watching CNBC and then make a decision from first principles of reading common literature on finance, that's not how it works. All of these simple strategies has been exhausted. So you have to come up with, say, and I'm saying that I advise my students to do that. You have to come up with interesting strategies that is yours, of trading. Having such a strategy in your mind, you have to, what we call it, backtest it on real data. Then you are going to do paper trading, and only when you are sure that you have what we call it a order of magnitude of 12-13% return and Sharpe ratio of 2.5 to 4, then you start real trading. To pick up stocks, to play the role of Buffett and Soros, this is not what one should do. The world is now very complex. It is not the world where you can bet on a couple of stocks. What we say, we extract return with minimal risk from a lot of instruments around the world. And that requires solid, non-trivial strategies, and there are many of them. But you have to test your strategies and never put your money into only one of them. Several strategies which should be independent in a way, and start with paper money. That's what is my advice. Yes, you have to learn to do trading. We say it, and there is a saying in the streets that if you are long on the stock, that is, if you buy a stock, so you are bullish, otherwise you are bearish, but you have to be one or another. But in any case, without trading experience, you cannot understand the field. Practical experience means you trade.
So, thank you. That's all I want to know about it.
Pleasure.
Thank you.